Welcome back to the channel to all my loyal viewers and subscribers, and welcome to all the new viewers. So as it comes to the ending of 2022, we just want to give the Father thanks for preserving our life. So if you're hearing this now, that means you're amongst the land of the living. So I just want to implore you guys to continue to keep safe and have a prosperous and rewarding 2023. Because enough Jamaicans had their life taken away in the year 2022. As it relates to this video, we're going to look upon 5 members of the JCF who had their life taken away and 1 member of the JDF. So stay tuned because you definitely don't want to miss the details of this video. Alright, so the first incident we are going to look upon involving a policeman by the name of Richard Barrett. He's a constable of police stationed at the Little London police station. The attack happened in the parish of Westmoreland, a section of the parish called Chantilly. So the incident and details surrounding the death of Mr. Barrett is that about 8:40 p.m. the policeman was alone at the bar which he owns when a man visited and bought a cigarette. The man then left and returned with 2 other men who robbed the bar and shot and killed Mr. Barrett. Constable Barrett was also a licensed firearm holder, however his firearm was not stolen. Upon arrival of the police, his firearm was located and retrieved by the police, and Mr. Barrett was rushed to the hospital, however he lost his life. So basically it's a robbery the man come commit and take the bartender, which is the police life in the process. Maybe them didn't know that he was a police, cause if they did know, they would have taken firearms, same like how them go over the bar and take money and take liquor and take all other valuables in the bar, but however them never take the firearm. But what they didn't know that a CCTV footage was in the bar, and the CCTV catch the image of one of the suspects in the matter. If you look on your screen now, you can see him one of the suspects in the matter. So the police still are looking for the next 2. So at the moment, I'm not sure if these individuals were caught and prosecuted for this crime.
A manhunt has been launched for 3 men listed as persons of interest in the murder of Constable Richard Barrett. The policeman died after he was shot multiple times at a bar he operated Friday evening. Jamaica Maitland has the details.
Constable Richard Barrett was shot dead by gunmen who robbed his bar in Chantilly, Westmoreland. According to the police, Constable Barrett sold a man a cigarette sometime after 8:30 p.m. The man returned minutes later with 2 other men. One of them had a firearm. They robbed the bar of cash and liquor and shot Constable Barrett before leaving. His licensed firearm was not taken. An officer who was supposed to meet up with Barrett found his lifeless body around the counter. His colleagues are distraught. At the family's house, Constable Barrett's wife was inconsolable, his brother speechless.
Call the station and the officer on duty, he confirmed that Richie get shot,
The policeman's family members say he'd been operating the bar since 2008 and is well respected in the community.
It was very good. Even in the community that we are living, Millers Avenue, Stratbogie, the people there love them. If they have anything bad to say, they might not say it to his face. They might go beat around the bush and say it with others.
His stepdaughter, Chevelle, also operates the bar. She revealed that the establishment has been robbed in the past a couple of times, but the patrons, who are often cops, usually ward off the criminals.
I would always be at the location with him. And if I was there, I would be probably sitting in the bar and he would probably be walking around the compound just to see. So probably then when I approach him back way outside, they might...
Next on the list is a 31-year-old police constable by the name of Jeremy Brown. He was assigned to the Spanish Town police station and he was murdered in Johnson Pen, St. Catherine. So based on the reports in the media, it is stated that Brown went to Johnson Pen in his private motor vehicle where he was attacked by gunmen and he was shot several times whilst in his motor vehicle. He died on the spot. I don't think no one has been arrested for the killing of Brown up to this time. So this is just a sad situation. The people of Spanish Town need to do them for do and show about the man them who kill the police. Simple as that.
Brown, who was assigned to the Spanish Town police station, was murdered in Johnson Penn, St. Catherine on Tuesday. Brown reportedly went to the community in his private motorcar about 4:50 p.m. when gunmen attacked and shot him several times, killing him on the spot. CVM Live understands there's a police checkpoint close by. Chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Corporal Rohan James, says the killing of his colleague goes to show that criminals are having their own way. He's echoing the call for more resources to tackle the crime scourge.
We continue to implore and express upon the 63 elected representatives to appropriately use the Public Debt Management Act and to provide the state with the resources that we can sufficiently act. Yes, there has been move afoot to provide resources, but it is insufficient. And all we are simply saying, not only remuneration that we are beseeching the government to come to the table with, but to provide the Jamaica Constable Force with the resources that we will have the capacity to respond to the social degradation that currently exists.
Corporal James says criminals are emboldened by what he deems the lack of seriousness on the part of the government. He's, however, imploring his colleagues to remain vigilant at all times. Corporal James says the police will leave no stone unturned in apprehending Constable Brown's murderers.
We are urging the citizens to give the police the requisite support that we can bring these perpetrators to justice.
The police high command has also condemned the killing of the constable, noting this will not deter them from ridding communities of guns, gunmen and gangs. Aladdin Love, CVM Live.
The next on the list, we have a member of the JDF. His name Kemar Dennis. Based on the police report, it said that a Jamaica Defence Force reservist was killed at his home in Central Village in St. Catherine on Tuesday, June the 14th, 2022. Them said the incident took place in a part of the community them called Zambia. At about 3 a.m., men kicked open the door of Mr. Dennis' house and give multiple shots all over his body. He was pronounced dead at the hospital in Spain.
Meanwhile, a 26-year-old Jamaica Defence Force soldier, Kemar Dennis, was shot dead around 3 o'clock Tuesday morning at his home in the community of Zambia in Central Village, St. Catherine.
I don't know if you guys remember, in early September 2022, a man by the name of Victor Francis is a detective sergeant in Mvrda, Sissoko. For those who don't know, Sissoko is the agency in the JCF that deal with sexual crimes. So you know him deal with mostly female and children. So him behind your house in a St. Catherine when him say 2 men have an altercation. Him go there intervene and try to pull them together. However, one of the men them have a knife and stab him, the police sergeant, and he was rushed to the hospital and he was pronounced dead upon his arrival at the hospital. Them said he's 56 years old and he was very well loved in his community and in the JCF. So this is just a situation in which I never him them directly want to kill, but however, you know, sometimes in a Jamaica when you have a part fight, people not really look what them do and they end up stab him and kill him. But put that aside, I still murder them because all who stab him are going to get charged of murder. Maybe the charge get lessened to manslaughter, but this is just an unfortunate situation and a good police lose his life and Jamaica has lost a good person because based on all of the information we receive and all of the outpour of support we might get, you can see this man was a good person both in his community and in the workspace. So I just want to say RIP to Mr. Francis and his family, and the Jamaica lost a real one in this situation. So the next incident we're involving the police now, we're going to look on. You remember the young police who attached to the Arthur Street police station. His name is Constable Brian Martin. It said that he went to Frog City, the community where he come from. Frog City that they are Maxwell Avenue, that's behind Norman Manley High School, in that region there. So, he left and said, I'm going to check his parents, his mother, to give her a little food. A Friday night, you go back in the community as a ghetto youth, or come out as a police, go back in the community, man drive, come up in the community, man jump out with the rifle and ass at a gun, fire, and him end up get shot in and lose him life. Him get shot in him head, them say him lose him life on the scene. However, 3 other person also get shot and injured in the whole incident. So based on everything what we get to realize, he wasn't the intended target. However, he was the one who lose him life. Maybe they never know say my police, them just see a man and them just start fire up a wild shot. That's how some of the man them go about them thing. Cause in an incident, even a 10-year-old get shot and injured. So basically the young youth go to school, get him qualification, join the JCF, go back in and left him community, go over Twickenham Park for the 6, 7, 8 months. The man over there, do him training, come out, him even do not much time on the road. And go back in him community of Rock City and man come kill him. And it's just an unfortunate situation because people that say him shouldn't go back there, but if you remember say where him come from, them more like family, him auntie, him uncle, him brother and sister, even his mother still live there, so he must have go visit there back. So it's just an unfortunate situation, him being at the night and the man them come. Maybe based upon the information we have, he wasn't intended target, but however you see him lose him life. He was shot in his head instant and lose him life. So it's just an unfortunate situation, and Jamaica, I don't know, but we need to do better. And RIP to this young man and to his family members. I know his mother must have go through the grieving process same way up to now, but it's just an unfortunate situation. But the good thing about this situation is one of the suspects them in the matter was also taken out, I think a few days after, by members of the JCF. Think him leave the community and go somewhere for Reddings Road and the police them hold him and deal with him up at the part of it. So that's very good. You know, we can't have pity upon that from your police killer or from your anybody killer. Why you have go under the dirt? Simple as that. So this story not end well for Brian, but at least we can say him killer was also taken out, or one of his killers is already taken.
There was heavy police presence on Ricketts Avenue in Maxfield Park, St. Andrew on Sunday, where a police officer was shot and killed. He was among 5 people shot at a wake. As Jamila Maitland reports, there were no dry eyes in the community when our cameras visited the area today.
Oh, God.
Overwhelmed with emotion, the mother of 22-year-old Constable Brian Martin fainted Sunday morning. Relatives and residents struggled to carry the distraught woman into this police car to seek medical treatment. Constable Martin was among 5 people shot at a wake in Maxfield Park Saturday night. His relatives said the family is broken.
Yeah, you've been there just go down like that, just like that. When I work, yes, I'm working about 6 months or more now. Him say, Mommy, I'm going to take you out of poverty. Mommy, I'm going to take you out of poverty. Jesus Christ, what mankind make it so?
Many of the residents didn't want to speak on camera, but they told TVJ News that neither Constable Martin nor the 4 other victims were the intended target.
My son also got a shot into it, a shot lodge in his hip. He have to do a surgery Tuesday. They tell me that he have to see a specialist to remove that gunshot.
According to the police, at about 9:50 p.m., a car drove up and stopped at the blockade. Now, several men exited the vehicle and ran towards the crowd, wielding high-powered weapons. Now, Constable Martin and his group of friends were standing in the vicinity of this white motor vehicle when the first set of explosions were heard. He was shot in the head. But the gunfight didn't end there. According to residents, the barrage of gunfire sent people running up further into Ricketts Crescent, injuring themselves in the process. And when it ended, 4 other people were shot, including a 10-year-old boy.
Several spent shells were found on the scene, approximately 66. So we are summarizing that it was several persons, and it was different type of spent shell. That is telling us that different weapons were fired at the scene.
According to the police, the attack might have stemmed from the murder of a man in July. Since then, roadblocks were mounted on Ricketts Avenue. They were partially removed for the reopening of school in September. The police say there have been no major flare-ups since then. It's why they are shocked by the latest shooting.
Probably adjoining communities we're still seeing criminal elements rampant in their behavior of criminality also, but rather a little bit surprised because we were experiencing a lull, especially in this specific area that this incident occurred.
There was a heavy police presence in the community, including...
Last but not least, we have Corporal Oliver Mullins. He was assigned to the Denham Town Police Station, OST, that is the Operational Support Team. He said that whilst on a foot patrol in the Trenchtown community, they get some information say some man are going to step to a witness, a material witness, was supposed to testify in a court on a case. So them get the information and so them are going to check the person to see that the person alright and thing. Upon their arrival in a Trenchtown, they were meted and greeted with gunshot. So during the whole incident, Sam Mullins lose his life. However, one of the next person, one of the attacker, the accused who shoot Mr. Mullins was also taken out in the incident and thing. And then I think a couple days after, the next individual was also taken out by the members of the JCF, who is also involved in this incident. So it's just a tragic situation. Mr. Mullins, he was well liked, well loved by the people in the community, and from inner city people love a police, you can know the type of police. He was a good police based on what me hear and based on what the people them are saying in the community. So it's just an unfortunate situation. And you guys must remember this and Brian lost a life happened within a space of 1 week, you know. So during this period, it was a hard time for the JCF and Jamaica and a whole. Because I don't want people to feel like say when a police lose them life, you're supposed to rejoice. There's nothing into this way you're supposed to rejoice about. Because if the gunman them can feel brave and bold enough to take on police and attack police and take them life and a soldier. So what you think them gonna do with the normal law-abiding citizens in the country? So we as Jamaicans, we have to stand up and face the music and know say yo, we can't continue like this. Because if we allow them money have to continue doing all these wrongdoings, the country not gonna ever better. And one day it gonna knock on your doorstep.
Corporal Mullins served as a police officer for 19 years. He was a member of the operations team at the Denham Town Police Station. He's been there for 9 years. Head of the station, SSP Michael Phipps, described him as a favorite among residents.
Despite the fact that he is the community and is oftentimes involved with community intervention projects and so on. As such, he is well loved right across the community.
The Member of Parliament and leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, is also condemning the killing. TVJ News visited Trenchtown where the incident took place. Residents who didn't want to speak on camera told us that they were angry at the officer's death.
You can express yourself. Not lie, the officer don't deserve that. They deserve it, I swear. The real police in the community and all that try to make everybody feel good and respectful and everything.
One of the alleged shooters was also killed in the attack by officers. He's been identified as Oni Fletcher, and hours later, another man identified as Alton Dunn, otherwise called Gogo, was killed by lawmen. According to the police, they received reports that armed men were attempting to silence a witness when they were called.
The early information is suggesting that these men were there to target a crown witness who was scheduled to give evidence in court. As a result of that, the officers, in their quest to save life,
of these officers who pay the ultimate price, which is with their life. Because enough people used to get up and chat off them out every day, you know. Them can stay there, them can come on social media and talk, but them don't. Them not do nothing. Them not do no form of contribution to them country. Enough of them youth left them home and give them life or lay them life down for them country. But now, so all police is good. There's no organization in this world where you have bad fruits and bad actors in a part of. So spare me all of that. I know say 95% of the JCF is good and the next 5 last them way. Because we can't go around and say you have some corrupt police. Because even on this channel, we do cover corrupt and wicked police. But majority of the police them in Jamaica want to see betterment for the country. And people are say because I was a member of the JCF me attack on this behalf. Enough youth police take them life innocently. Yes, we all can attest to that. There's no going around that. But for the majority, a good police them, and all of them man here will lose them life in a 2022. We don't have no dirt pan none of them. And it's just an unfortunate situation for the country. Again, I want to say condolence to the people, them condolence to the family, and big up to them man here who lose them life, who lay them life down for them country. Because remember now, over here advice of the victims, it don't really matter who you are or which organization you're a part of. For you're corrupt and you're involved in a crime, we're going to speak about it. Because, alright, I did have a squad, a youth by the name of Denver Levy. He was kicked out of the JCF. He's from Clarendon. He do some whole heap of thing. Them kick him out of the JCF. Me say him go to Clarendon. While me overseas, me say them find him in a shallow grave in a Clarendon. He was in the media. I think his family member come and say he was missing and all of that. But based on the information when me hear, Denver was mixed up with the wrong set of crowd. And I'm afraid to come here and mention that and talk about that. And he's a person who I actually know, who I train with. And I want to say condolence to one of my next squad of them, a youth by the name of Nicalda Green. Him come from somewhere down the parish, but them kill him in a Portmore, I think, in 2017. So, it's just an unfortunate situation. I never get the chance. At the time, I never have the platform to talk about it. Now I do. Just want to know, say, them youth there, lay down them life for them country. Man trail him, and his way home and shoot him in the yard and kill him. So, enough youth, go out there and join the force just for the betterment of themselves along with their country. Enough of them join with good intention and end up lose them way whilst doing their work. So if you like this content and want to support the channel, please remember to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video. Like I always said, remember to hug your loved ones.